Hi, everybody. I'm meteorologist Joe Chaffee. I'm going to address two issues today. First, we want to look at Friday because weather models are indicating a chance that we could have a soaking rain here and a much needed soaking rain. But I remain rather skeptical because of the fact that we're in this intensifying drought situation. And what seems to happen with all these weather systems is that when they finally arrive, they underperform. And honestly, from a standpoint of rainfall, we really need to have something that lasts over a 12-hour period to get soaked into the ground, as opposed to the heavy rains from thunderstorms that we had a couple of days ago, which, basically all that water winds up running off. This is the NAM's picture, and the NAM and the European are on the same page with this idea. The NAM paints a very bullish picture for rainfall here for later Thursday night into Friday afternoon and evening, with 3-inch plus rainfalls for Long Island and in through central New Jersey. But you can see how the cutoff amount drops off considerably once you go north of New York City. And ideally, it would have been nice to see 1 to 2 inch plus rainfall bands across all of the Hudson Valley, where it's also very dry, although they played a little bit of catch-up lately. And the rainfall in central and much of South Jersey has been okay, so they don't really have too much of a drought problem there. And that 2-inch stripe goes down through much of southeastern Pennsylvania into northern Maryland. So this is the bullish view. The NAM and the European and the Canadian all seem to be on this idea. Now, when we look at the GFS, you can see what the outcome with the GFS is, that everything is much further south. Rainfall on the GFS is almost non-existent. I mean, we're talking about amounts of 1/4 of an inch or less across Long Island, and I'm being generous with that 1/4 of an inch across Long Island, New Jersey, much of eastern Pennsylvania. Southern New Jersey kind of gets clipped on it with regards to the 2-inch plus rainfall stripe in extreme southern New Jersey, and then back through the Delmarva Peninsula into northern Virginia. So it all goes according to how these models handle the next weather system. So I'm just going to give it a quick look here. We'll go to the I want to change regions so we can get a upper air view, and we'll go to that one, and let's see, let's get that 500 millibar map up. There we go. Okay, and really what we have is just a little dent in the upper air here. This northern stream, this weak northern stream jet is there. It's been a lot stronger over the last 6 weeks, flexing its muscle from time to time, and it just kind of hung on just enough so that really we didn't get into the strength of this heat wave, which I'll get to. That's my second issue. But you can see there's just this little dent, this disturbance in the flow that moves along. You can almost barely find it when it goes through here on Friday on the GFS. But when we go to the European model, you can see there's there's much more of an indentation here in the flow. There's a much more definable disturbance that moves through. Honestly, I really, even though 3 models are kind of going with this particular idea, I really want to remain very skeptical on this. Prove it to me for a few more runs and let everybody come in line. I'd love to see a soaking rain because we really need it badly. The other issue I want to deal with is the standpoint of this heat wave. And, frankly, from the standpoint of heat waves, when you look back, this to me was a big yawn. For one thing, no one, broke 100 degrees. Newark got to 99 on Monday. And, I'm kind of wondering about that now because it just seemed to be a little out of whack with everybody else. But even when we look at the temperatures, this is in regards to looking at the NAM model today. For Long Island, it's a wind off the ocean, so it barely gets to 90. And the heat wave, by the way, was broken for all of Suffolk County and a good chunk of Nassau County on Monday when temperatures didn't get out of the mid-80s. Central Park for New York City didn't get to 90 yesterday, so their heat wave ended and starts fresh today, a new one, but they're going to just maybe get to 90 today and tomorrow. And if you look at the temperatures the next couple of days, I mean, people made a big deal about this heat wave. Oh my God, we're all going to burn up, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Haven't seen one, even in one stretch of days, did we get a temperature over 100. So, as far as I'm concerned, as far as, when you look at this heat wave was a big yawn. It was overplayed by a lot of folks. I'm glad I really didn't go down that particular road. But anyhow, let's hope that we get some rain out of this for Friday, and then we'll see what happens as we go through the weekend.